What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the pregame stream. And Joshua's going to be here in just a moment. Don't worry, he will be here. But this is your first time in the stream. How it goes, we preview the entire game, ask us any questions, previews, matchups, anything like that, health of players, how we think players will perform, all that good stuff, and we will absolutely talk about it. But the biggest things right now is that Rashad Bateman will be making his NFL debut, and Joshua's now here, so I'm going to add him into the stream. Get him right there. How you doing, Joshua?
Doing good, man. Ready for this early Sunday football game. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it. What I missed. Fill me in.
Not much. Pretty much just started talking about Rashad Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? How is he going to perform? No Sammy Watkins. How much do you think we'll see out of him?
I was just about to say, when I saw that Sammy was inactive, I'm like, I know he was dealing with a hamstring and a little hamstring injury. So this puts me in the mind that we're gonna maybe but it puts me in the mind that we're gonna see a lot of Rashad Bateman. I know they don't want to overwork him and things of that nature, but depending on him, his camp, what they've seen, from his workout and his recovery, I feel like they're probably ready to give him a full workload just to get him, back in the groove and in the mix. And I think he's ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And how you doing, Living Legend? I see you. See you in the chat. How you doing? And I see that the Chargers, just injury report for the Chargers. Their inactive players are Larry Roundtree, not a big guy. Eason Stick, backup quarterback. Nasir Adderley, who I believe is their starting safety opposite Derwin James. Drew Tranquil, I believe, is their starting linebacker who's out. Trey McKitty, their tight end, backup tight end. Forrest Merrill and Brendan James are their inactives. Mike Williams will be playing, which is a bit scary because of, Anthony Averett having to cover him.
Right.
It'll be a very difficult matchup. Mike Williams, best jump ball receiver in the NFL. Anthony Averett doesn't jump for balls. So that is about the opposite of what we need to see. And I see Killa Cam's going to be at the game. That's going to be a fun one, man.
Nice.
Hopefully it's a good one. And then Zach, at the end of the stream, we always give our full game predictions and things like that. So right before the game, we'll talk about score predictions, bold predictions, all that jazz. Void says this game will really tell us what positions need to be addressed. O-line needs to show up, DBs need to cover, middle linebackers need to tackle, and running backs need to run. Yeah, 100%. I think that this is a game where we can see exactly where the Ravens stand, because they right now are in a position where there's a lot of question marks. Is Patrick Queen the future? Is Malik Harrison the future? Is Anthony Averett the future? Because obviously the Marcus Peters situation, his situation, so many guys right now are going out there and really trying to show that they still deserve a spot. And I'm not saying if Patrick Queen doesn't play well this game, he's getting cut. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if the Ravens recognize throughout the season, hey, they need somebody who can tackle, they may go into the draft next year looking for a middle linebacker. They may go into free agency looking for a middle linebacker. I know Hightower is a linebacker that'll be available in free agency. So it's just the Ravens this game need to go out there, and some guys need to step up that haven't been playing well yet this year. And Void, I believe Bosa's playing as far as I know. I can look it up right now, but as far as I know, I believe Nick Bosa will be playing, but that's very, very difficult to stop, which kind of sucks because we do not have Ronnie Stanley. And Void says, I can see us taking a lineman or DB round one. I think that's probably the most likely scenarios, either a tackle or a corner. But if a linebacker falls, I think the Ravens may have to go after him. But I don't know. What do you think, Joshua?
I definitely feel like we can't. We're not in a mode. I always said this. This is urgency time. This is the time that we're trying to actually get to a Super Bowl. This is the time that we're trying to develop and grow a team. And like we said last week, we really didn't have anybody to mold or really help our young middle linebackers. We pretty much just threw these guys in the fire and expected them to be out here and be Pro Bowl linebackers, and it hasn't transpired as of yet. Now, as far as the draft, know I do believe that we need to go after a right tackle. We got to solidify that right side. Know what's going on, and maybe even get a backup left tackle. Just for the simple fact, after Ryan Stanley got paid the big bucks, unfortunately, he's then got hit with the injury bug, and we don't like that. We don't like that for any of our guys that get the ascensions and get paid, and they either don't produce or get those slight chances of injuries. So as far as that first round, I could definitely see us going for a lineman. If a linebacker is available, or even an edge rusher, more in my opinion. Because we had to continue to build on that front seven. Who knows how long? We'll have Pneumonic Fee. I mean, hell, we're 6 games in. We don't have Derek Wolf. You need to find someone else that's going to complement Adafio Way in the future, because we have Justin Houston on a 1-year contract, and who knows if we even bring him back. So you have to think about those things, as far as the future. But lineman, edge rusher, if a linebacker is available, I can see us going for him. But then again, if we don't re-sign, Juice Man or Anthony Averett, if the best corner is available, we got to go for him as well. So it's so many holes that can be filled with that first round pick. But luckily for us, we have 10 picks next year, and we know how to draft.
Yeah, I feel like one of the biggest things that we need to look at is the Ravens have a lot of decisions to make with this upcoming draft in their positions, because in free agency, the players that they have, Marcus Peters, Anthony Averett, all of those guys, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the Ravens play it, because I think that no matter what, they should still try and draft a corner, even if they retain Marcus Peters, even if they retain both Marcus Peters and Anthony Averett. I think that they should still go after somebody. But overall, I think that these big games are what's going to show what the Ravens need, because I think everyone always likes to look at the last game of the year as like, oh, what do the Ravens exactly need? And yeah, sure, that's nice to look at that one game, but it's only one game. So like last year, everyone was just looking at the Bills game. What did the Ravens need? Wide receivers. That's pretty much what was wide receivers and edge rushers. It was looked at that one game. Right. Now, luckily, the entire season that was an issue, but overall, like it feels like the Ravens every time it's just like, oh, they need to just solve that one thing that knocked them out. Whereas they need to look at the entire year and what they struggled with. And right now, what they've struggled with: edge protection, coverage, and tackling. Those have been the issues. So the Ravens need to go after that. And I'm not even going to say running the football, because JK and Gus will be coming back. So I'm not overly worried about that. Void asks, do we put Jimmy Smith on Mike Williams today rather than Anthony Averett?
I would say no. Sometimes talent wins, but so also youth. Everybody says speed kills, but youth kills even hard. So I feel like Mike Williams will have the upside on him as far as on the youth side, So I mean, and plus we've seen it with Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman has all the talent, all the skills. But what happened in the Super Bowl? He was getting work. He's 6'1", lengthy guy, not that type of speedy guy. You put him out there on an island with a speed type of wide receiver, you're going to see what happens. So I'm not going to say Jimmy Smith is going to be torched by Mike Williams, but I don't feel like he's going to win those 50-50 ball competitions all game. And I don't want him to be out. I don't want him to get banged up or come down, land on his leg, stuff like that, trying to fight with him and things of that nature. So it's going to be It's going to be a heavy workload for Marlon per usual.
Absolutely. And I'm curious to see how much Marlon plays on Mike Williams, because Keenan Allen a lot of the times will line up in the slot, and we know Marlon can play out of the slot. But if he's lining up in the slot, do they put Tavon on Keenan and then throw Marlon on Mike Williams? But in my opinion, I don't think Mike Williams is a tough matchup for Marlon Humphrey, because Mike Williams has great hands and is very strong in catching the football. Yeah. And Marlon Humphrey, his defensive back technique is to swat the arm, not the ball. And that works on most guys because most guys do not have great hands. They are not sure with those high points and stuff like that. Mike Williams is the best 50-50 wide receiver in the NFL. So trying to slap that arm sometimes isn't going to do enough. But he does have the size matchup that is much better than Anthony Averett on him. And so maybe he would be able to do better. He's obviously got the speed to be able to keep up with him. He's got the size to be able to match well with him. But I'm curious to see who's playing Keenan Allen more than I am Mike Williams, because I think it's going to be a little bit of a switch off. Sometimes it'll be Tavon. We may get some Jimmy Smith on him, which I don't want to see at all, but I feel like he'll play on him a little bit, but we'll have to see. I have Keenan Allen and Marquise Brown in fantasy football. I want to know what you guys think. Who do I start? Keenan Allen or Marquise Brown? Right now, Marquise Brown is in the lineup, but if Anthony Averett's on Keenan Allen, I should start Keenan Allen. But I feel like it's going to be Marlon and Tavon, so I don't really want to go for it. But I also have Herbert and Eckler, so my team is very Chargers heavy.
Oh yeah, you're torn. You're definitely in the middle, man.
Oh yeah.
But, fantasy football it does that to you. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Joshua, you got Keenan Allen. I'll take Mike Williams. They ain't getting nothing. They ain't doing nothing.
If you put me on Keenan Allen, man, I'm gonna make sure I jam up in between the 5-yard line, man. He ain't going to do that. Right?
Come on, I'm mossing Mike Williams. I mean, it's just it's not even a question. I mean, it's just gonna happen. This is an interesting one. How often do we blitz today?
I think because of all the play action we have been seeing the past couple of weeks, I want to say maybe about 10-15%. I feel for some reason I feel like Wink is going to be playing a lot of over the top coverage, just so we don't get beat deep. And it's still going to be man coverage, but I just feel like it's going to be a lot of over the top help. So it's not going to be as much blitzing. And then on the top of that, we're blowing assignments. So I think they're going to want the linebackers to be, more fundamental.
Yeah, for me, I really hope that the Ravens blitz a lot. I've watched Herbert a very long time. I watched him through college. I'm an avid Oregon Ducks football hater. So I've watched a lot of Justin Herbert. I do like Justin Herbert, though. I am a fan of Justin Herbert. I love his game. But Justin Herbert, if he has time with his wide receivers, they're going to get open. There's been a couple of plays this year that I've watched from I've watched, I want to say, every Chargers game this year. Maybe I missed one. But I know I've watched all the big ones. He's had plays where it's literally just he has time. 6-7 seconds later, Keenan Allen's busting up the field and getting wide open. Mike Williams, there's a busted coverage after a while. Like, those types of things happen when you don't blitz them. And he has the arm strength, the accuracy to be able to put the ball 50, 60 yards down the field if a busted play happens. So I feel like the Ravens need to try and get in his head, get after him. Joey Bosa came out and he said, talked about Derek Carr. He was like, we knew once we hit him, he wasn't going to be the same guy. And Derek Carr got kind of mad at that. But Herbert's a very streaky player. And he has had times in his career where he goes out there and misses 4-5 throws in a row. And that's why that's why Justin Herbert and some of his teams have blown some big leads, is because he will just get off. And you have to figure out how to get him off of his game. And the best way to get a quarterback off his game is putting him in the dirt. And the Ravens can't put people in the dirt unless they blitz. Unless all of a sudden Odafe Owe decides to show Rashawn Slater who the real first-round pick is. But that's very unlikely. Slater has been an absolute monster this year, arguably the best left tackle so far this season. So I don't want to count on that one. But
don't we get enough started? Oh, we get it.
Maybe Justin Houston teaches him a thing or two as a wise veteran. But let's see here. Shamil says, don't blitz, in my opinion, cover the top so we don't get cooked by Mike Williams on the jump ball. Herbert has a cannon. He will burn us. Cover two, please. I am mad at that. If we're not blitzing, we better be in cover two. I don't want one-on-one situations.
No, I definitely agree on that. Now, with Deshon Elliott back, how much impact do you feel like that's going to play? Or do you feel like, Brandon Stevens should continue his role where he is?
I feel like that's going to play a big impact because I don't think it's going to help in the coverage aspect. I don't think Deshon Elliott is particularly amazing when it comes to that. But I think just whenever you have a guy that can hit somebody as hard as Deshon Elliott can, it decentivizes. I don't even know if that's a word, but the other team to get those balls across the middle. But when he's out there, when he's not out there, Brandon Stevens is out there. You can throw it over the middle. You can check it down to Austin Eckler. You can check it down to whoever you have because Brandon Stevens isn't going to wipe that guy up tomorrow morning. Deshon Elliott's going to put him in the ground and be picking up the pieces, okay? And that's going to get them to be like, oh, maybe we don't just check it down when he can light him up. And I feel like that's going to help the Ravens a lot, is just being able to provide those big hits on those players. Because when you hit somebody that hard, it shakes them up a little bit, and they don't want to go after that. Maybe the first one, they catch the ball, they take that hit, they go down, they hold on to it. Maybe the next time they go out there, they see Deshon Elliott, they go, oh, and they try and protect themselves a little bit too early. They drop the ball. Mm-hmm. Like those types of things happen when you're, not playing it very well. But Joshua, what are your thoughts?
I definitely feel like with him coming back, he brings a sense of level of urgency. That boom, having that boom factor, it helps that defense, that helps that morale. Because honestly, in my opinion, sometimes, depending on who your safety is, that boom factor should come. But 9 times out of 10, that boom factor really should be coming from, your guys from the front 7. Hence, the way Adolfo Wade laid it thick on Teddy Bridgewater. You need more of that. I wish Broderick Washington was playing today. But I mean, hey, process of elimination, healthy scratches, how that thing goes. I mean, how Tyshawn Williams is another healthy scratch. We're going to see Le'Veon Bell today. Those carries that we saw, those not carries. Well, yeah, those carries and catches and the package that we saw Devontae Freeman in last Monday. I hope we see Le'Veon get those chances, because I definitely feel like everything that Devontae Freeman did, Le'Veon could have did it even better. So I definitely feel like that Deshon Elliott, the Rashad Bateman, the Le'Veon Bells, that's going to play. I feel like that's going to play a little heavy impact for today's game. Everybody need to be on all cylinders, and we definitely need to be rolling. And we gotta stay on top, because I know what you said about Justin being a streaky guy. For some reason, and I think the last time we played San Diego is when they had LT and Ray Lewis, and Ray Lewis made that stop. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think we played them in. I think that was 2 times ago, because we played them and we had what was it? Was it Thursday Night Football? I know it was in prime time. Lamar hit Mark Andrews on that was rookie year Lamar, and he hit that 60-yard touchdown to take the lead. But other than that, in the regular season, the last time might have been, I don't know. I don't know if it was that one or if it was the 4th and 29.
It was that time. It was that time, and then remember we played them in the playoffs that same year.
Yeah,
and they had they had 4 corners out there to stop the RPO.
Oh yeah, they were all in.
So man, it's definitely good to see these added pieces coming together. Just hope we make it work.
Absolutely. And let's see. Shane says, what do we still see in Murray? I'm cool with giving Bell another look today, but benching Williams over Murray makes no sense to me. I'm going to be honest, in this game, I don't think Tyshawn Williams should be getting as many opportunities as he's gotten in previous games, because I feel like holding onto the ball in this game is so important. Mm-hmm. Murray holds onto the ball and he gets you 3-4 yards. He's not going to blow by anybody, but I feel like he offers security in this offense, and I think that that's what the Ravens are looking for. But I do hope for Bell to go out there and get a lot of opportunities in the passing game, because last week it was Devontae Freeman late in the game that was out there lining up a wide receiver a little bit, running those drag routes, catching those balls. That's something Le'Veon Bell can do. But I really like Devontae Freeman in open space. Once he was past line of scrimmage, he's been really good. So maybe they use him still as that guy coming out of the backfield. It's just don't hand the ball off to him, because he just waits 30 seconds, then gets tackled 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Ravens rotate through the running backs. I wouldn't start any running backs in fantasy. The only one I would maybe consider starting would be Latavius Murray, just because he's most likely to score a touchdown if the Ravens get down to the 1 yard line. But I don't know. I just hope that Lamar doesn't try and play. I felt like last week he played a little bit of hero ball against the Colts. He was like, I don't really want to hand it off. I want to keep this. And there were a couple times when he should not have kept the ball, should have handed it off. And he was getting tackled in the backfield. He had a fumble on it. Trust your players. And so hopefully he does that today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great feat, Monday night to see what he did, 440 yards, passing 4 touchdowns. But at the end of the day, if you see open daylight and the wide receivers are, not available, Lamar, do what you got to do, man. Get out there. Don't try to take big hits, slide, get out of bounds. Just play football Lamar's way, and don't play football the way the NFL want Lamar to play football. I mean, you got here doing it, with your legs, with your arm. Don't try to start being a in-the-pocket quarterback. That's how a lot of quarterbacks get hurt the most, is continue staying in the pocket. Do what you do. They scared. They already scared of your leg power. Wait till you're now putting it together with the throwing. You're now getting the weapons, to throw it too. So they don't really know what to do with you. Keep the defense on your toes and keep doing what you do, man.
How do you think the Chargers play this one? Do you think that they go out? I'm talking defensively. Do you think that they go out there and they're like, Lamar's been killing teams with the pass, let's stop that? Or do you think they take the approach that every other team has taken this year and gone, stop the run, stop the run, stop the run, let us beat them with the pass? Which do you think that they take, which they tried to stop first? Or do they just play kind of average and see which one the Ravens pick?
First possession, I definitely feel like they're going to play average. Once they come back out, I feel like, if they start running the ball, then we're going to see the stack. We're going to see the stack box. Once you see the stack box, G-Roll has to give Lamar 2 plays. I don't know what it is. I haven't seen it yet. I definitely want to keep an eye out for that, because I don't see a check down play. I never hear a check down play. Once Lamar gets out there and reads the defense, it's like he just gets to play, his cadence, and goes with it. So definitely feel like that Chargers defense, especially with Joey Bosa, the things that he said about Derek Carr, I feel like they're going to go out there, bring the house, and really try to make a statement against Lamar in the run game.
This is interesting. Void says Lamar doesn't seem as fast as he was last year. I think that's just because the Ravens he hasn't had nearly as much space because teams have just been selling out so hard to stop the run. They've been throwing out the extra DBs to get him out there. And so when they start having to go, oh no, because it used to be teams against the Ravens used to have to keep in their linebackers because Gus Edwards was going to run over a defensive back. JK was going to run over a defensive back. But Latavius and Tyson and Le'Veon and Devontae Freeman, there's not a lot of fear of, oh no, you can't throw a defensive back to tackle those guys. And so you're able to keep those defensive backs out there until one of them is able to prove, no, you got to keep in your linebackers, which the guy that has the best chance of proving that is Nate McCrary, sitting there on the practice squad, because he's going to actually run somebody over. I think maybe that could bring back the linebackers out there trying to stop Lamar, but we've also gone against some really solid linebackers, guys like Darius Leonard, guys like Von Miller, guys like trying to think who else the Ravens have played, even Corey Littleton in Oakland, or sorry, Las Vegas now. There's a lot of really good guys, and then Lamar's best running game was against the Chiefs. Didn't have a lot of good linebackers. We saw him running all the way down that field. So I feel like he's got the same speed. It's just they're playing the run so hard, and there's not as much of a threat of the running backs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said it before, I say it again. You got Latavius Murray, you got Freeman, you got Le'Veon Bell, and you had an undrafted rookie free agent. And plus three Pro Bowlers. They can produce, but not at a high clip as they used to, I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can agree with that. B. I feel like he's taking more. I feel like he's taking more crazy chances by staying in the pocket and trying to be, this pocket QB. I feel like he is. I understand his contract year, but you don't have to prove nothing to the league. You've already beat the narrative. I feel like I feel like he's more focused on that. Is beating the narrative that they consistently beat on him. Saying he can't throw outside the numbers, saying he can't be a pocket QB. Saying that the only reason he made it is because of the pistol, the pistol and run game. He can only make things work with his legs, stuff like that. He's a running back and not a QB. I think he's more focused on that. I mean, I know he says, I know he checks the win off his list. I know he's focused about the Super Bowl, but I do feel like the words from the critics do play a part in his performance. I'm just saying, just look at these first 5 games. I know the running backs have been an issue and things of that nature, but at the same time, you have to play the game that you've been playing. I love the intensity that he brings. I love how he's a fighter. I love how he shows leadership. I love how he'll pat his guys on his back, but at the same time, in these past 5 games, some of these games he's not been letting the game come to him naturally, as we have seen previously. I'm all for the involvement. But at the end of the day, you still continue to evolve. You still continue to play the way that that they can't stop you.
Oh yeah, and Shane says hopefully Elliott's coming back this year without what will allow for Jimmy Smith to move back to the second outside corner. I know what you guys said earlier, but it couldn't get much worse than Anthony Averett last week, and rather give Jimmy a chance. Yeah, I feel like Jimmy should be out there a little bit. He's been playing a little bit of safety this year. I feel like we'll see a lot of Jimmy on Jared Cook. Jared Cook, veteran tight end, really good tight end. Always has been.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Jimmy Smith could be a really good neutralizing factor against Jared Cook because he's been solid this year. Herbert's like throwing it to him, getting him, pushing the ball down the field to him. I feel like Jimmy Smith could be on him a lot. Let's see here. Chris Reed says, I think Duvernay has to have a good game. They're going to key in on everyone else except for him. And he and him have to step up. He and Proche have to step up. Sorry. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about the wide receivers of last year? How did they perform this game? Also, how much does Miles Boykin get involved this game? We didn't see him much last week.
Oh man, don't remind me of him. Well, you know what? Okay, since he is active, I see him actually getting more active than Rashad Bateman. I know I totally forgot about him. I know I definitely feel like he gets to play a lot more, but James Proche has shown that he's earned his reps, and he's showing that he can catch the ball. He's shown that he can go across the field. I definitely feel like he's gonna this will probably be a statement game for him. If they continue to use Devin Duvernay as a possible wide receiver and even throw in some gadget plays to throw the defense off, I feel like he can have a big game as well. But it all falls down on the scheme, what we plan, and how we adjust as well. So I definitely feel like these guys can definitely step up and show what they're capable of. We know what Devin Duvernay can do. I'm glad that James Proche is getting his chance, and he's been making it count. So I definitely feel like those guys are going to make it work. If Miles Boykin showed that he's on the same accord with Lamar today, then hey, I'm okay with it. I'm tired of him looking like he's lost in the sauce. I'm tired of seeing him being like confused. I'm tired of him not extending the plays. So if he comes back with a little bit more sense of urgency, a little bit more focusedness, and he is targeted and makes those catches and even possibly get a touchdown, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I feel like looking at the wide receivers, they said that they kind of want to ease Bateman back into things. I hope they don't. I want to see him out there as much as possible. But Voigt says he wants to see Tylan Wallace play. I feel like we'll see a fair bit of Duvernay, and we'll see him as a legitimate wide receiver. I feel like we will not be seeing the typical Devin Duvernay game that we've seen out of recent, well, really his entire career, where the Ravens go, yeah, you're a gadget guy, you can run some jet sweeps, and then we'll also throw you deep. I feel like we're going to start seeing those over-the-middle plays with Duvernay, which he should have been running his entire career because he was a slot receiver in college. For some reason, the Ravens saw that 4.3 speed, and they said, oh, yeah, deep threat. He's a slot receiver running back hybrid coming out of college. Get him the ball over the middle of the field. Let him run over some guys. I feel like we'll see a little bit of that. And I feel like we'll see a little bit of Prochet over the middle as well because he's had some big plays over the middle. That third down that he caught last week against the Colts was a massive play in that game.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to see both of those guys. And we're going to see Bateman a little bit coming in. And I'm very curious to see what he does over the middle of the field, because obviously we also have Mark Andrews, and Yitzhak says 100 yards for Mark Andrews. Which guy's going to be the main passing receiver in this game? Is it going to be Mark Andrews? He's played well against the Chargers previously. Chargers obviously have very good speed in the secondary, but they also have Derwin James. So what are you thinking for the receivers and pass catchers? Who's the guy this week?
I'm gonna go ahead and take the shot. I feel like it's gonna be Rashad. And honestly, it's gonna be between 3 to 5 catches. I see him possibly going for between 80 and 100 yards. I feel like, he wants to show that he's capable, he's ready to get in the games and, contribute to his team. And I feel like, Lamar wants to, hey, I got this young bull over here, I got this young rookie over here that's ready to eat. He been hungry. I'm gonna feed him, So I definitely feel like, between 3 to 5 receptions, possibly 100, 120 yards. I feel like he's going to be the deep threat, that we've been missing, and I feel like he's going to come in the clutch.
Yeah, and also Abdi, don't say that. Keep the chat chill. It's all good that we got a Chargers fan in here. Hopefully it's a good game and stuff like that. But Living Legend says Chargers have no run defense. We're going to smack them in the mouth all day. Mike Tyson always said, everybody has a plan to get punched in the face. What are you thinking? I don't know. Are the Ravens going to really run the ball that much this game? Do you think that they finally go back to it? Or do you think that Greg Romans and doesn't utilize the Ravens' best weapon?
I feel like G-Ro's not going to I feel like he's going to go away from the run game immediately. I feel like since we did what we did Monday night, even before that, I feel like he's going to try to top it.
Yeah. And it seems like the Ravens are really trying to stick by this passing game, and I'm okay with that. I don't think either of us are saying, oh no, this sucks that the Ravens are passing. No, it's great that they're passing. And I just feel like they're going to go out and they're still going to try and pass the ball. They'll run the ball. I think they'll have more success than they did last week running the ball, but I feel like it'll still be a pass heavy game from the Ravens because that's what they've been doing the most this year. And that's how they've been succeeding, is it hasn't really been the run very much. Now, Lamar has had some big time scrambles and runs like that, but not on designed runs. We have not seen very many Lamar Jackson designed runs that have had a lot of success. It's all been, no, they weren't Lamar runs, they were Vic runs, because Michael Vick, he didn't have designed runs. The Falcons were going out there saying, all right, we're running, QB power to the left side. No, it was Vic, drop back and pass. He sees nobody open. He ducks that head. He runs up the field. That's what we're seeing out of Lamar. And that is just as effective, if not more effective, because it's just heartbreaking to a defense when you play that great coverage, but then all of a sudden you turn around as a corner and Lamar Jackson's running right by you. So, I'm hoping that he scrambles a fair bit this game. We don't need as many designed runs and things like that, but the QB powers just aren't working as well, just because everybody expects Lamar to take it.
Yeah, I'd rather have the scrambles, honestly. It's more of an element of surprise. When we have the more design runs for them, it's like, okay, hey guys, come on down. We know what's about to go on. Whoever gets it, we're going to hit him regardless. And, that's even for the simple fact that he's now, speaking about, hey, what's up, the late hits? What's going on? He wants his respect. So, it sounds like even he want to get away from the design runs, and I can respect that.
Absolutely. And let's see here. I think it's time. Let's get into the bold predictions. Let's start off with offensive bold predictions. What do you got, Joshua? What's happening in this game offensively for the Ravens, bold prediction wise?
I feel like we get back on the streak of 120 rushing yards. I feel like we have another 300-yard passing game.
300 and 120. How much of the running is from Lamar?
I feel like we get 10 scrambles out of Lamar today. I feel like if we can't control Joey Bosa is really going to try to press the issue. And, Lamar's I don't feel like Lamar's going to continue to try to stay in the pocket, seeing how it collapses so easily. I feel like he's going to really go out there and take those open lanes.
Oh, hopefully. Shamil says Le'Veon, 80 total yards. I like that one.
I like that.
That's me says 2 100-yard rushers today.
Ooh.
That's a lot of rushing. I'm not against it. For me, my bold prediction, I don't even know if it's that bold anymore. I'm going with Hollywood Brown.
Okay.
And last week I said $152 touchdowns on 7 receptions. I think he had 9 receptions, 125, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'm saying 2 big receptions, 50-yard receptions or more. Now, I think one of them goes for a touchdown. I think another is just he gets the ball, 45, 50 yards down the field. It gets out of bounds or something like that. But 2 massive receptions from Hollywood Brown getting by the defense. Maybe one of them's on that signature double move that he's got cooking. But biggest thing, Hollywood Brown, going to be a big play threat this game and go deep. Because I feel like teams are really starting to have to respect his underneath game, which we've been waiting for. We've known that it's really good. And that's allowing him to finally be the deep threat that everybody a lot of non-Ravens fans were like, oh, he's just a deep threat. Well, now that they have to play up, that's why that double move's so good. It's because the defenses understand he can go inside. But right when he takes that first step, turns up the field, corners on the ground. But what do you think, Joshua, defensively? Bold prediction.
Honestly, what the hell? Anthony Herbert. He gets a pick 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna go crazy. I feel like he get a pick 6. It's gonna be an underneath drag type of play, and he just right there, right place.
Oh yeah, Joey K. Good luck today. I'm totally fine. Yeah, no, you're chilling. Yeah, Anthony Herbert pick 6. Is it like a batted ball by somebody, or is it like does he like full Marcus Peters jump that route?
Yeah,
take to the house.
That's why you gonna pull an MP juice, man. He hears the talk. At the end of the day, you hear the talk. You reach out to you reach out to your defensive coordinators. They have so much respect for you. You got your teammates. Going to bat for you. At the end of the day, you have to now show that you can live up to the hype. Hell, Tyreek Hill with the Tyreek Hill tweet. Hey man, we see y'all later in the playoffs. Try that again in the playoffs, and trust and believe. He gonna have to do what he did to Tyreek Hill. He's gonna have to play some man coverage. He's gonna have to break up a pass. So in order to get a contract extension or someone else to pay him big bucks, he has to do something today.
I like it. For me, I'm going with, I would assume it would be the breakout game for the Joker. He finally gets that interception.
Texas Longhorn Day type.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Get those horns up. No Oklahoma horns down, Last week was all Oklahoma, Hollywood, Mark Andrews. This week, it's all Texas. Justin Tucker, Devin Duvernay, Deshon Elliott. That's what's going on this week. It's the week of University of Texas at Austin.
They got to show out. I like it.
They lost to Oklahoma State yesterday, so maybe they got to get some revenge going. But
man, dang.
Yeah.
That's tough.
All right. I feel like that's pretty good. Good spot to wrap up the stream, everybody. Make sure to come back after the game. We'll stream for a little bit. Obviously, there's going to be other games on, so we won't stream for too long, but we'll recap and all that stuff. But we'll be going through it, talking about the game on Twitter, everything like that. But thanks everybody for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe if you like the stream, and we'll see all of you again after the game.